Game time decisions. We are live on SportsGrid on a Friday night. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency, and I mean, the hits keep coming. A lot on the plate here. Yankees are live right now. Ton of Major League Baseball to come. I snuck some NBA on the card tonight, but I think the college basketball likely, Gabe, will have most people's interest here. Fantastic Sweet 16 slate.
NBA? What conference are they from? Are they playing in the Crown tournaments? What university is that? Yeah, it's go time, baby. And yeah, I tell you what, Kevin, it's a great time of the year right now, and it's really the calm before the storm as well, because you and I know how epic the NBA playoffs are going to be, right? The Western Conference is just going to be a gauntlet. The Eastern Conference is wide open right now, although Boston looked pretty damn good. NHL playoffs around the corner, but the women's tournament, epic game earlier in the day today with Notre Dame and Vanderbilt, 67-64 final score. Notre Dame pull off the upset. We got North Carolina and UConn women going on, and I don't think it's ideal, although I've been in the TV industry long enough to know, Kevin, it's called counter-programming, but I don't know if tonight is the best idea to kick off week one of the UFL against Duke and St. John's and Michigan and Alabama. I'm not a television executive. I'm just a lowly host, Kevin. But if I was in the boardroom, I'd say, sir, just for the record, that Friday night is a Sweet 16. And, why don't we start the league like a week later? But I'm ready to go. And, I follow these leagues very closely. I love the UFL. Obviously, I love the CFL. I love all football. And if you watch college football, you know UFL players, and you know who the coaches are, and you know the breakdowns, and we're locked and loaded. We're ready to go. UFL tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox, Kevin.
I know Gabe loves his other leagues. One of my favorite, I probably never even said this to you, one of my favorite Gabe tweets ever, he was watching and betting the Senior Bowl, and he goes, some people think they're football fans. They're not. If you're not betting the Senior Bowl, not a football fan. You're an NFL fan, okay?
I don't want to hear anyone's NFL draft opinion that didn't watch the Senior Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You were with Jim Nagy at the Reese's Senior Bowl. But
hey, well, Jim Nagy follows me on Twitter. It's a badge of honor.
There you go. He probably knows that you're one of the real ones. Here's the only thing I'll say for the UFL, and they'll never do it, but they have it completely wrong. They think the objective is to put football on when the NFL isn't on. Wrong. They should actually try and take over MACtion, and they should play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the fall. During football season, that idea is free. Truly, they would probably pay me millions to figure that out for them. They'd make way more money with way more eyeballs, Gabe, if they play Tuesdays in September.
I don't dispute this. I mean, put it this way. How many MAC college football games do you bet on Saturday afternoons? How many times do you say, oh, look, Akron's playing Toledo. I want to get in on this game on a Saturday afternoon when there's 52 games, as opposed to breaking down an Akron and Toledo game like it's the Super Bowl when it's on a Tuesday night and it's the only game on the board, right? I don't disagree with it. I would mix it up. I would play on, Friday nights are fun. Whatever. And it's nice moving forward. It's nice to have in the summer. They basically replaced Friday Night SmackDown with this, right? With sports and, with the college basketball. So Fox likes sports on Friday nights. So that'll continue. One thing I'll say about the UFL, I know the league very well. We've done very well handicapping it. But I find, Kevin, the XFL was funner, right? It just was. It was like the UFL games have turned into like NFL preseason games. Coaches are like playing to win and like punting and stuff on like 4th and 2. It's like, bro, nobody cares if we win or lose. Let's just you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're playing for nothing here, Kevin, but it got too serious. And they knew this. They realized this. And just to throw it out here, a quick refresher for everybody before we get into the basketball picks. They fund this league up a little bit, Kevin, this year. So you have a 4-point field goal now. Any field goal of 60 or more yards is 4 points. You're not allowed punting inside the 50. You can't punt. Like if you're on the opponent's side of the 50-yard line, you got to go for it. right? So it'd be interesting to see if teams take false start penalties to go back just to punt, though. Like if they start to really like get evil about this.
Oh, that's a good
But
call.
just quickly with the rule changes, 4-point, and this is all like noteworthy for the totals, obviously. 4-point field goals, no punts inside the 50, tush push ban, 1 foot in bounds, NCAA catch rules. PAT options. After a touchdown, teams can choose a 1-point, 2-point, or 3-point conversion attempt. The 3-point is from the 10-yard line. Kickoff rules. Most touchbacks result in place at the 40-yard line now. The touchback
All right. All right. Go on. I think this is get going, Gabe. I know you love betting your UFL. You have a Michigan jersey on. Someone's gonna get in my ear and be like, "Listen, you got to make him talk Duke St. John's or Michigan Bath." If he reads another UFL rule out before we talk about Patino versus Duke,
you got to know the rules, Kevin. You got to know the rules if you're playing a game. Step number 1.
The other advice I'll give people if you don't know the rules, just tail Gabe's picks. Just watch the game and then go through that. Gabe has been on a bit of a heater here. And yesterday, Gabe, you kind of signaled the Sweet 16 slate was a total slate. You played 3 overs. They all came in. You should take credit for 4-0 on totals because basically by not betting that Houston-Illinois over, you kind of set the stage for what was a disgusting first half of basketball. 46 total points were scored in that first half. What's the overview tonight here, Gabe, for you? Is it mix and match? Is it an overnight, sides night? How do you see it?
And for the record, to pull a Barry Horowitz, and I'll pat myself on the back, at halftime, I took Illinois and Houston over 118.5. And it ended up getting to 120 when it was all said and done. Yeah. So, we nailed it last night. 2 nights ago on the show, guys, we went 5-0 with the picks we gave. And then last night we went 6-1. Yamamoto actually got to 6 strikeouts last night as well. So hopefully we can end strong. But Kevin, it's a different night tonight. And I hate betting unders. I'm not an under better. I generally will not bet the game. I bet unders in baseball. I'll bet unders in hockey. When it comes to football and basketball, I'm an over better. And it's just, I just don't like betting unders. Yet to me, I look at the card tonight and I see 2 overs and 2 unders. So I'm getting cute and cocky. St. John's and Duke, I think the total's too high. This is going to be a street ball game, right? To me, the winner of this game, you might get to 70, but this game has, look, we just saw Kansas and St. John's play each other. What was the final score? 67-65 off the top of my head? Yeah, 67-65.
65-63 maybe? Yeah, you're right. 67-65. You're right.
Yeah, 2-point game. I had Kansas plus the 3.5. But I look at this game, Kevin, and I see a very similar style of game. Listen, Duke are super tough to score on. St. John's going to turn this into a dogfight. Let's get into the numbers a little bit. The St. John's are 11-1 to the under in the last 12 basketball games. Duke are 12-5 to the under in their last 17 basketball games. Duke have the best adjusted efficiency on defense, effective field goal percentage allowed, rebounding, and free throw attempt rate. Like and I like St. John's, but this kind of scares me wondering, all right, how are St. John's going to score? But I think conversely, St. John's are going to play New York street ball, dirty this game up as much as they can, punch Duke in the mouth, turn this into like one of these 1st to 65 wins the basketball game type of game. So I like the under in that game.
I'm with you. We'll get more into it, the way the ACC kind of stacks up here defensively. Michigan, Bama, maybe a different story. That's next here on SportsGrid.
So why is this? The bigger question, Kevin, that we should be asking is, why is this happening now? This could have happened last week. Could have happened the week before. It is goodwill season, Kevin. It is goodwill season. We want to make sure the fans are buying those tickets. We are committed to opening day.
I like that.
We are committed to spending them. I mean, look, it is what it is. Like, this is what you do to fire up the fan base.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
League Baseball announced yesterday that they will be having a partnership this season with a company that we've come to be very familiar with over the last 6 months. Polymarket is the exclusive prediction market partner of Major League Baseball and the only platform allows to use teams, logos, and marks. Representing the latest pro league to embrace the prediction markets.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
I do believe there are causes for players to become basketball drunk. Thursday, Friday, you're sitting around a hotel and all you're doing is watching ball. And then you go out on the floor and you're a little bit groggy. Yeah, because all you've done is just, you've laid in that hotel bed and watched game after game after game. And you get caught up in the emotion. Like everybody in the country was.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
He didn't get 50 home runs. He only stole 13 bases. Boy, he only pitched to a 4.15 ERA. Yeah, he's not the MVP. Like, who can steal it from him? If Ohtani plays the whole season, who can steal it from him, Tom?
It has to be something so dramatic that it will bring pause to the voters to say, hey, Ohtani's great. He was a good pitcher this year. He was a really good hitter. But what this player doing, we have to take note of.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Game time decisions. We are here on SportsGrid. And Duke St. John's, I agree with Gabe. I think this is an under basketball game. Duke ranks out as the best defense in college basketball. St. John's has played some good defenses. UConn, we've seen some of that go well, some of that get really, really ugly, right? Some low totals. Duke does not actually have a ton of reps against a defense like this. St. John's ranks 8th defensive efficiency. Top 10 teams other than Duke in the ACC on the defensive side of the ball, none. Top 15, none. Top 20, one other, Virginia. There's only 3 other teams, I think, inside the top 30 in the ACC. It's not a great defensive conference. It is a Duke team who, it's very interesting. I always thought they were live to win that game against Michigan. I bet them to do that. They did it. And it didn't in any way change my idea that I didn't see them as I just never actually thought this team would win the title. I do think they are live to lose tonight. Even if they get through it, I think they are live to lose in the next round. Winner of UConn, Michigan State. So we will talk about that as well. But I want to get to this Michigan-Alabama game where...
Let me just bring something up here, Kevin, as far as St. John's and Duke are concerned. You know, the Spider-Man gif... in which Spider-Man is pointing at himself, and there's 2 of them. You cannot get as identical resumes as these 2 basketball teams tonight with St. John's and Duke. They're both 20-16 against the spread on the season. They're both 23-13 to the under on the season. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Like this late in the year, that both teams have the exact same betting numbers. 20-16 ATS, 23-13 to the under. And I'm supposed to bet the over of this basketball game, and I'm Johnny Over, right? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, even I'm like, no, like I said, I think this is going to be a slugfest. And honestly, too, I think conference teams, Kevin, you see this all the time. Conference teams will have an easier time. Like they gave up 72 to Providence. You know what I'm saying? But they played Kansas. They gave up 65. Northern Illinois got to 53. UConn got held to 52 last time. But something you just said, I think, is bang on. You don't see them. Like they play, and one thing, Pitino's a smart coach. He doesn't just throw one look at you. He's going to mix it up, right? No. He's going to throw a little zone in. He's going to throw a little man-to-man in. He's going to badger their guards. Like he's going to mix it up. They're going to try to get Boozer in foul trouble. So, and let's be real. We got the underdog, and we have the better coach. Coach K's not there anymore, guys. This isn't Duke from the past. They haven't won a championship since Coach K's left, Kevin. Just facts.
They were the best team in the country last year by a mile. That team not winning the championship might haunt Shire for a while. It might. And that's not a slight to Florida or Houston who beat them. And that's one of the reasons I've struggled to believe in this year's Duke team. It's
And
not
which
that
he
they're
even said
bad.
after, Kevin, you remember? After the Siena game, he goes, McNamara outcoached me in this game. It's like, I probably wouldn't say that out loud, coach. You know what I mean? You know, like, really? Like, he's got outcoached by the Siena coach, but he admits it. So it's not like, when I heard that, I'm thinking to myself, so I know now, Kevin, there's not some sort of big confidence in the Duke coaching room, like deep down inside that, like, there's an arrogance. I'd rather there's an arrogance. I'd rather
It's
say, hey, I haven't won a
interesting.
title yet, but I'm going to. I'm Shire and I'm Duke, and I've won titles as an assistant, and I've won as a player, blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm doing. But for him to sort of say after, yeah, we got out coached and they caught us off guard with some schemes and stuff. I'm like, you're playing freaking the Siena Saints, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to write them off, but let's be real. Boozer's carrying this team, Kevin. Boozer's carrying this team.
Without a question. His brother stepped up throughout the year.
The Boozer brothers, yes.
Yeah, and you know, we'll see how it lands.
And they got that Foster kid back tonight. We should just throw that out there, but
we'll see we'll see what
about
that means,
game,
right,
yeah,
Gabe?
exactly.
Like Gungba came back against TCU. I'm not going to say he was bad, but he wasn't fresh as a daisy, was he? Right? He didn't start the basketball game, so he played 13 minutes.
Jefferson tonight either for Iowa State. We'll get to that later, but
yeah.
All right, let's get to Michigan Bama because we can stay on this game forever. But we agree. It sounds like we agree. St. John's plus the points and the under.
Now, this game, we're going to agree a bit and then disagree a little. But the funny thing is, I'm trying to protect myself from doing exactly what I did in the last Michigan game, which the game gets set. I go, oh, man, Michigan's going to score 1,000 points. And then bet St. Louis, and like, what did I just do? Now, I've done that again a little bit, to be honest. I'm on Bama. Paid up to get to the 10.5. I wanted double digits, but I also bet the over and Alabama's team total. I have really sold myself. I can't also bet Michigan's team total at that point of being ridiculous. I have sold myself on Bama being able to score here, Gabe, but I am not just showing up to this game with Bama plus the points in the pocket. I need more than that. And I trust this Bama team to score. And if by chance Michigan wins this game 100-85, I'll go 2-1 in the basketball game. I really believe Bama, they are more live in this game than I anticipated believing, but I respect Michigan enough to play this game a couple of different ways. I don't do this with a lot of games. It has to be a big one. This is, so I'm on Bama team total, Bama, Michigan over the number.
Well, I'll tell you what, to me, this is deja vu all over again, as the great Yogi Berra once stated, with last night's game. And I talked myself into Arkansas can hang around. Yeah. No, they can't. We talked about how they get killed in the paint. What happened last night? They got killed in the paint, bro. Like over and over and over and over. Dunk, layup. They had no answer for this. Alabama are even worse. You want an alarming number, guys? If you like Alabama tonight, they're ranked 287th in defensive rebounding.
Not good.
287th. They're playing the Michigan Wolverines tonight. Like, they're going to get murdered on the glass. Alabama shoot 36% of their shots are from three. They shoot the most threes in the country. So you got to hope they hit their shots. But, you know, this is an historic game tonight, guys. Very, very cool stuff. This is the first time since 1970 in a Sweet 16 game the teams are playing against each other, and they both scored 90-plus in both previous games in the tournament.
Wow.
Since 1970. This is also Alabama and Michigan combined to score 179 points per game, which is the highest average in a Sweet 16 matchup since 1991. And the betting market is going against us, Kevin. It's down to like 172.5 at last check right now.
Yeah, I took the 172.5. I'm pretty sure we're running close to a break here, but I played the over in this basketball game, and we'll talk more about it. We're going to have Craig stop by, talk some Major League Baseball as well. GameTime decisions on SportsGrid.
So why is this? The bigger question, Kevin, that we should be asking is, why is this happening now? This could have happened last week. Could have happened the week before. It is goodwill season, Kevin. It is goodwill season. We want to make sure the fans are buying those tickets. We are committed to opening day.
I like that.
We are committed to spending them. I mean, look, it is what it is. Like, this is what you do to fire up the fan base.
Game time decisions. only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball announced yesterday that they will be having a partnership this season with a company that we've come to be very familiar with over the last 6 months. Polymarket is the exclusive prediction market partner of Major League Baseball and the only platform allows to use teams, logos, and marks. Representing the latest pro league to embrace the prediction markets.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
I do believe there are causes for players to become basketball drunk. Thursday, Friday, you're sitting around a hotel and all you're doing is watching ball. And then you go out on the floor and you're a little bit groggy. Yeah, because all you've done is just, you've laid in that hotel bed and watched game after game after game. And you get caught up in the emotion. Like everybody in the country was.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
He didn't get 50 home runs. He only stole 13 bases. Boy, he only pitched to a 4.15 ERA. Yeah, he's not the MVP. Like, who can steal it from him? If Ohtani plays the whole season, who can steal it from him, Tom?
It has to be something so dramatic that it will bring pause to the voters to say, hey, Ohtani's great. He was a good pitcher this year. He was a really good hitter. But what this player doing, we have to take note of.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Game time decisions back right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, we are joined by Craig Mish, host of Newswire Pro Baseball Today, covering Major League Baseball for us, a specific eye on the Miami Marlins. We will get to the Marlins in just a moment. But Craig, we're what are we, 2 days in, 2.5 days in? It was Wednesday a full day. Here's what I know. We've had a couple of run-ins with ABS, and so far, right, I think it's inoffensive. I will say there is one element of ABS that's driving me a little bit crazy, and it's that I don't feel there is a good handle on when to use it yet. Maybe this is me being angry that Jose Caballero used it in like his first or second at bat here.
Right.
Do you think that is everyone learning on the fly, Craig, as to when they should be using these? Or is it as simple as like, no, if you think you're going to win, go for it?
No, look, I think it's a fair question. Major League Baseball did a huge presentation on this that I watched before the season began that tells you that Caballero's usage of it is a huge mistake. The majority of the challenges are going to come in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning over the course of the season. Yeah. 70% of the challenges. Last year, they did it throughout the minor leagues, Kevin, so this is not new. And 70% came late in the game. So that's the first part of this. The second thing that's happened is you're seeing thus far, after one day, an overwhelmingly amount of challenges reversed, meaning that the player or the catcher got it right. That's going to change too. It's going to get to about 50% before the end of the season. So it's just a very small sample thus far. You got to remember, this is not new for baseball. It's new for Major League Baseball. They've tried it, they've tested it, and it worked at the minor league level. So anecdotally, with one player that you mentioned, I wouldn't worry about it. All that's going to happen with a player like that, after the game, manager's going to say, we're waiting to use those at the end of the game. I doubt you're going to see that happen very often.
No, but I think that is incredible insight. I really do. Because also, with all due respect, you're also Jose Caballero, right? There's a mix here. There's a strategy to this thing. And so it's going to be interesting to watch these guys implement that and adjust. There were a couple of things that shifted after one day. And you mentioned to us yesterday, hey, keep eyes on JJ Weatherholt when we talk about the National League. In the American League, McGonigal and DeLauder with like a two-man, oh my goodness, start to their careers here, Craig. Just in both leagues, do we have like a super special rookie class on our hands or just little one-day sample size?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Can't go all the way there yet, but very, very impressive opening days for a lot of different rookies and touted rookies too. So is this going to carry over for all of those guys, including Benj on the Mets too? I don't think so, but I think that that's a fair point that you're making here. I don't think that's being a prisoner of the moment. These guys were supposed to be good going into the season. They have been very good here at the very early start of the season, and in particular, Weatherholt, McGonigal. Yeah, I mean, those two are potential favorites to win Rookie of the Year. Maybe we do have a special class here. I can't go all the way there yet, but I think that that's astute to point it out.
So I want to make sure that I ask you specifically about the Marlins again. Craig today will be working the Marlins game, and it's a ball club last year, Craig, who flew through the win total, right? They opened with the Rockies. You've kind of joked to me a few times, like, should start the season all right here. What is your sense around this team? Hey, sneaky wild card. We're happy to be here. Kind of what are you keeping your eyes on with the Marlins?
Yeah, hopefully a team that's 500 or better. I think that would be the expectation going into the season. But from what I can see, at least here on opening night, some massive platooning going on. Massive platooning going on with the Marlins here. A player that they acquired a couple of days ago, leading off on opening night. Like, I don't know, in the history of the Marlins, I don't know that that's ever happened. So, look, I think it's going to be a good year for them. They definitely, Kevin, have the right teams to face off with here in the first few days. And they face off with the Rockies and the White Sox to start the season. And despite what you want to say about the Yankees, who they play next, and they play opening day in New York, I get it. Yankees swept the Marlins last season. So who knows? Maybe it's a special couple of weeks.
I very vividly remember you last year being like, the Yankees were swept by Miami. They stink. They're going nowhere. And I was like, you know what? I don't have much to say to that. Craig, we appreciate it, of course, as always. We'll be back right here on SportsGrid. All right, game time decisions. We are back here on a Friday night. My goodness, there is a lot to do. There really is. I'm almost tempted, Gabe, to try and throw everything else at people just because we could still just do Duke, Michigan, like Duke St. John's, Michigan, and Alabama the entire show, right? So let me stop over in the world of Major League Baseball. There's a big card. Only the Yankees game is live right now. Did you bet anything tonight on this baseball slate here? Dodgers play late. Big-time favorites, obviously, against the D-backs.
Yeah, big favorites again. Emmett Sheehan on the hill here tonight. So you're kind of in, minus 1.5 territory unless you want to parlay the Dodgers. But, man, that Dodger offense got going last night. But, no, I can't lie. Between the NCAA hockey, in which I've got action on both games, Michigan leading Bentley 2-0 right now. Denver Pioneers up 1-0 on Cornell as we speak. The Sweet 16, the UFL, baseball took a backseat for me tonight.
Yeah, listen, similar. The one thing I did get involved with, there's a couple, you play a couple parlays here and there, strikeout props, whatever. I did take an over in this Braves Royals game. We've seen this early in the year, so maybe I'm late, but some of these expected pitcher duels are just flying through the total, right? We saw last night, Gabe, that Guardians-Mariners game feature, 11, 12 runs.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens didn't make it out of the first inning. So some of these games, it takes one guy to get blown up, right? It's not where I need both teams to get to 5.
There is a game tonight that catches my eye. It's not like I haven't looked at the baseball board here tonight, but it's the Blue Jays home opener tonight. It's their 50th anniversary season. There's a ton of excitement about the team, about getting back to the World Series, and feels like a trap. Like it just feels like a trap to me. I think it's fully priced tonight. I'm high on this Athletic team, but with that being stated, does an 8.5, and you know what? It's plus money. It's 8.5 right now. Doesn't that feel just a little bit like? I feel like there could be some runs tonight in this Athletic Blue Jay game. I actually think the A's are live dogs tonight at plus 150, and I like the over the game.
So the one thing is, I almost was like, if I got 9, maybe an under, like make them get to 10 type of thing. The one thing, Gabe, I feel like you might agree with this. I think Luis Severino might have a really good season. I was so impressed with his WBC. I think that kind of momentum carries over. What's the worst case for Severino? The A's aren't good, he's great, and he gets traded somewhere, right? If it pays for him to be fantastic, I think Sevy could have a very good. It's nothing against Toronto. We know Toronto can hit, but I think
I agree with you. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't give up 2-3 runs still potentially, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to pitch a shutout. And Gossman's good, but Gossman doesn't strike the fear of God into you, right? As far as a total.
No.
And you have both very potent offenses. You have shortened porch. The roof's going to be closed. There's, to me, it just sort of feels like, there's going to be some runs in this game, like a 6-5 sort of wild game. Sort of like, you know what? Listen, last night everybody lined up, and how many people had the Mariners in the back end of parlays, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no day in Major League Baseball. Ask Cub bettors from yesterday. I just think this price is a little bit too high at $1.80 right now for the Blue Jay game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree there. I'll just quickly say on the NBA slate, it's funny, there were a couple of prop. I was very excited because I think Gabe would have got a kick out of it. I was going to give him a LeBron under and a Jokic under. And believe it or not, they moved the direction I wanted to bet it. But at that point, I was like, no chance. Like, I'm not betting the worst of the number on LeBron under. Like, I was going to take him under points, rebounds, assists, Gabe. I don't know if they thought Luka was going to miss the game because it was 34.5. It's 30.5 now, right? But you have some of these blowout spots. The Lakers are 18.5-point favorites. The Nuggets are 18.5-point favorites. To get over some of these numbers, you need 4 quarters out of these guys here.
Lakers 18, Warriors 12.5, Blazers 10.5, Nuggets 19, Grizzlies 14, Thunder 19. It's an abomination. It's this card. But with that being stated, the game of the night tonight in the association, the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. Atlanta Hawks cooled off a little bit, but
no Jaylen Brown.
Still a red hot basketball team. No Jaylen Brown, and you're getting a 5 spot with the Hawks tonight.
I played the Hawks. This is kind of the Hawks' attempt to stake their claim as a real figure of this show. right? They've helped Gabe out a little bit. They've helped me out a little bit. Handle business here against Boston. No, they didn't. Didn't they win that game, Gabe? Against Detroit in overtime?
Yeah, they ended up getting it done, but it was an adventure. And I know I wanted to get to it too. I forgot about that. I want to bring that up. Our boy Jenkins went over the number late in that game. Was it Jenkins that we bet?
Yeah. That's your guy.
That was the one I wanted to get. Yeah, that was the one I wanted to get to. We got over. So this Hawk team is smoking. We've been riding them, Kevin. We've been riding this Hawk wave. I've been all aboard the Johnson, prop train. Yeah, it's just this team's pushing all right. And one thing too with Boston, I don't know about a letdown, but they were more fired up for that Oklahoma City game a couple of nights ago.
I don't disagree. That's why Jaylen Brown's not playing, right? Like sometimes a message is sent by the injury report. It almost feels like a game where they tell Tatum, hey, take 25 shots. Just go out there, find a rhythm. And that to me is a good thing to bet against.
Yeah, that Boston OKC game was more like a Boston saying, we could see these guys in the finals. Let's send them a message here that, what I'm saying? Hey, we'll check. We'll see you guys again down the road. More of a statement game for them. And conversely, this is a statement game for the Atlanta Hawks tonight in the Eastern Conference.
I don't disagree with that. I also took an over.
You were on the right side the other night, too. Is it the Heat and Cavs? So many games I'm getting confused, but it was a couple of nights ago. They're playing again right now. They're playing again. We got a total of 242.5. Cavs are laying 5.5 tonight.
I like the over, Gabe. I don't know if I could sell you on it, but it's interesting. Yeah. So Cleveland now, not being on the second leg of a back-to-back off a loss, are 3-point favorites or 3 points bigger favorites than that night, but they didn't move the total. They didn't move the total in a game that Cleveland only scored 103 last time. I think this flies over 242.5. I think both teams could score 120. I think this game goes well through that listed total, Gabe.
Atkinson went off after that game, right, about their defensive effort, right? And he's been upset for a week or so about their defensive effort. So that's always the thing, my fear with pulling the trigger on these games with the Heat and the Cavs, but I don't disagree. I would not be betting the under in this game. Yeah. And just for the record, the Raptors host the Pelicans tonight. The Pelicans have been smoking hot. They got that cover done for us, but we talk about motivational spots, and we knew the Pelicans were going to be all fired up to play in MSG. They were, right? They ended up losing by 4 or 5, whatever it was. They easily covered a number. Then, they've gotten drilled a couple of times since this week, right? So, the wheels have fallen off a little bit. And they smoked the Raptors a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And if you recall, I forget who it was. If I see the guy's name right away, it'll pop in my head. Maybe you remember. He smoked Jamal Shed and stood over him and stuff after.
Oh, was it Murray? Wasn't it DeJounte Murray?
I think it was. Right. I think it probably was, yeah. But, it was uncalled for. You know what I mean? They collided, but whatever. He looked over him and he kind of mean-mugged him. And the Raptors did the fake push people around a bit, but they really didn't do much. It was kind of disappointing, actually, that they didn't step up and somebody should have just punched him in the face, actually. But no one did. It's a new NBA. But it's 8.5, but I'm just saying, Kevin, you got to sort of plant that and, remember. Oh, yeah, the Pelicans were dunking in their face a couple of weeks ago, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were Raptors could pay them back tonight to cover that number.
Yeah, you know what? You see, in a way, no DeJounte Murray, no Trey Murphy. The Pels are getting way too much respect on this number. I understand when they show up with their full group, this isn't the healthy Pelicans.
Murray was the difference maker. Since he showed up, they're 10-5, 10-6 or whatever now.
They're going to need 35 from Zion to cover a number like this. It's not a bad look. All right, right back to college. UConn, Michigan State, Tennessee, Iowa State after the break on SportsGrid.
Against St. John's being an extreme difference maker, they got guys. At the end of the day, Nate gonna do what Nate gonna do. And they're gonna run it up, they'll get down, they'll come up, they'll go on runs, but you gotta give them credit. I don't think they can win a national championship that way, but man, are they exciting to watch. And they are literally a snap of a finger going on a big offensive run.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
What does the deal look like? That's where it changes. It all changes at that point in time because you've got them where you want them early or at some point, even late. And you're making a decision based on opportunity, based on staffing, based on program. And then all of a sudden can you just call my agent to get this deal done? And when you think you have a deal done, you don't have the deal done anymore.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Whatever the gap people believe is between the Dodgers and the Mets, I think that's the gap between the Mets and then the third team. I think the Mets are comfortably the second best team in this league. The Phillies are a much older baseball team with an injured Zach Wheeler. The Braves' entire rotation is either injured or injury prone. Maybe you love this Cubs team.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Congressmen propose a bill to end sports investing. All this means is, yo, you didn't pay your tax to us as Congress. Pay that tax. We won't vote on this bill.
Yeah, we saw the same kind of thing, Donnie, with the advent of fantasy football. Remember when that first started and we saw ads everywhere and all of a sudden Congress had to get, yeah, that's because they wanted their fair share.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back right here on SportsGrid. Let's get UConn, Michigan State in the fold here. This is a game where I am not, like, sometimes we say, you know what, I think the book set a bad number, right? They didn't set a bad number with UConn, Michigan State. If anything, like, you could argue some of the numbers would say Sparty should be favored here, right? Like, the efficiency sites have them a tick better. I really don't care. I really don't. It's early in the tournament. And I'm mad at myself that I didn't lay it earlier with that UConn-UCLA game. But this is a UConn team. Like, UConn, to me, never deserved the one-line consideration they were getting. I think they were probably overseeded as a 2 seed. And yet the entire time I felt they are live to win a national championship. I bet UConn on the money line in this game, Gabe.
You know what? I'll throw it to you. I'll ask you a question. I'll sort of deflect it in a sense that I'm kicking myself for not taking Michigan State against Louisville. And I'm very good, actually, at not letting my biases get in the way of my opinion. But I legitimately don't like Michigan State basketball, that I think sometimes I get caught up on the other team, right? And I talk myself into it, right? A lot of people did it with Floyd Mayweather all the time. When I used to get a great number. Well, you know, De La Hoya could beat him. You know, Ricky Hatton could beat him. It's like, no, they won't. Like, but just because you don't like them, I get it. You want to bet against them, right? But Michigan State scare me. They're good. I mean, and I tell you what, is there a player, and you know college basketball, Kevin, is there a player that is as good that doesn't get any national attention as Jeremy Fears? I mean, this kid can ball, bro. You know, how about Jeremy Fears, guys? 16 assists against Louisville. 16 assists. All right. He's got 40 assists in their last 3 games. He's only turned the ball over 13 times as well. They're big. They're physical. You know, they bang the glass. They play at a quicker pace. For me, Kevin, the over's the play here. And I think the sharp market agreed. I thought the number was too light. I thought the Michigan State Louisville number was too light, but Louisville went like 4 for 33 or whatever from 3.
Yeah.
And it didn't hit their, but it should have ended up getting there. And it nearly did in the end when it was all said and done. But everybody says the same thing after they played Michigan State. They're like, yeah, they played faster than we thought. And like the tempo was quicker, etc. Like, this isn't old school Tom Izzo. And even over the last like month or so, if you look at Michigan State's last 10 games, dude, they've scored like 76 or more, 74. Like they're getting into the mid 70s in every basketball game, Kevin. But with that being stated, Louisville are not Danny Hurley. And
No. What's funny,
right?
Gabe,
And they're
But
just battle test. They're so similar, Kevin, right? They don't turn the ball over. They both rebound. They both play defense. UConn shooting concerns me a little bit, Kevin. They're not the best three-point shooting basketball team, right? I mean, this is as evenly matched game as it gets, but I feel as if though that Hurley magic is enough to get us to the finish line here, and a totally evenly matched basketball game.
Yeah, look, I don't want to be dismissive to Michigan State. They are good, and I think Fears will likely be back next season. He'll have top 5 odds for the Wooden Award.
That's the question, right? Like Michigan State,
I don't think so.
They played Michigan twice. They got beat down. Like a couple of times they played bigger time teams or like real teams, and they did lose, right? That's my thing. This is a step up, right? You're not playing Louisville right now. Or
and that's what like
State or North Dakota that they played, etc. North Dakota State and Louisville.
Like you mentioned Purdue yesterday. Michigan State won at Purdue. I think that's a Purdue thing. Like, that's why I don't care about this Purdue. That's why I can't stand this Purdue team. One of the interesting things with Michigan State, it's true, with Michigan State, Gabe, when they play slow basketball teams, like slow, good defensive teams, they lose and the games fly over. Minnesota, UCLA, it's very interesting. We've seen that with this team. So I don't mind your look on the total here. I'm just going to trust UConn in any type of scenario kind of thing. And like, I actually think Michigan State has to play to an over here. Not that UConn will be uncomfortable, but Izzo can't go like, oh, slow it down, we'll grind him. No, you will not. You have to let Fears run all over the place.
You're right. To be honest with you, I think Michigan State are more athletic than UConn.
Owen Carr's unbelievable.
So I think that you say, all right, you know what? Let's push the pace on UConn because UConn can be offensively challenged at times. They go through those lulls when they don't score, right? If Michigan State just sort of keeps pressing, points off a transition, that's Michigan State's big thing. Defense, push it. Defense and push it type of deal. It's going to be it's a super fun game. It's a complete toss-up, but like you, I'm with UConn. And I do like the over, though. But, guys, that total keeps going up. People are onto it. It was 134.5, et cetera. It's 136, 136.5 now. And this last one, Kevin, as an over better, how is this total as high as it is? What am I missing here? Yeah. Dude, like we saw Houston and Illinois last night. It was 24-22 at the half. Would it shock you if it was the same? Would it shock you tonight between Tennessee and Iowa State if it was 22-22 at the half? Like, or it was, you know what I mean, 25, like, whatever, 30-27 even. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is this game going to get to 140 points tonight?
It does feel like it's on the – I'm not playing – so it's really funny. I know you won't like this. It's the one game I put my foot down. I go, I don't care. I'm not betting it pregame. I don't care. Anything I bet pregame would have been fake. I wouldn't have been able to give you any type of confidence in it because I think Iowa State wins. I actually think the Iowa State number is kind of insane. It's the same numbers against Kentucky. Tennessee is much better than Kentucky. Like, I don't think it's a good number. And the total, it feels like a total, Gabe, like Iowa, Nebraska, right? People got under 134.5. It closed 131.5.
I love the over, though. I gave it on the show last night. I know. I gave it over.
The game went over within 3 minutes. You knew it. What was going on?
The difference is Nebraska bomb threes all the time and are good at it.
Iowa State will shoot more threes.
Well, are good shooters, are efficient, etc. Tennessee are not. Tennessee are a guard-driven team. They walk the ball up the court and stuff. Like they're going to slow this game to a clock.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Go through the full card next.
Against St. John's being an extreme difference maker, they got guys. At the end of the day, Nate gonna do what Nate gonna do. And they're gonna run it up, they'll get down, they'll come up, they'll go on runs, but you gotta give them credit. I don't think they can win a national championship that way, But man, are they exciting to watch. And they are literally a snap of a finger from going on a big offensive run.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
What does the deal look like? That's where it changes. It all changes at that point in time because you've got them where you want them early, or at some point, even late. And you're making a decision based on opportunity, based on staffing, based on program. And then all of a sudden can you just call my agent to get this deal done? And when you think you have a deal done, you don't have the deal done anymore.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Whatever the gap people believe is between the Dodgers and the Mets, I think that's the gap between the Mets and then the third team. I think the Mets are comfortably the second best team in this league. The Phillies are a much older baseball team with an injured Zach Wheeler. The Braves' entire rotation is either injured or injury prone. Maybe you love this Cubs team.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Propose a bill to end sports investing. All this means is, you didn't pay your tax to us as Congress. Pay that tax. We won't vote on this bill.
Yeah, we saw the same kind of thing, Donnie, with the advent of fantasy football. Remember when that first started and we saw ads everywhere and all of a sudden Congress had to get, that's because they wanted their fair share.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back right here on SportsGrid on a Friday night. We're going to roll through it here. Let's put the crew picks on the board first, just to make it happen here. Straight pick out of Chris tonight. He heard the chatter. Ronald Acuna Jr., 2+ hit run RBI. I like that look quite a lot. Josh Doan, anytime goal. Saber Sammy, plus 270. That's a loser. And then Vol's money line for AJ. He's been rolling with a couple of these money line dogs, Gabe.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm on the Tennessee Volunteers myself tonight. So let's get it done with the Vols. Either way, the Vols or the Cyclones are getting smashed by the Wolverines on Sunday, but they can play their little varsity game tonight.
You know, it's probably the truth. It's probably the truth. I have an in-state, an in-season Iowa State future that I'm like, maybe. But I think that, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm on Bama.
When I saw the bracket, I was like, oh, man, Michigan, Iowa State. I was like, oh, really? And now that I'm here, I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. We'll beat them by 14. Let's go. Let's play. You know what I mean?
I already know this. I don't even think it's disrespectful. It took maybe, I don't know, 3 halves of basketball for every Michigan fan to be like, sick. Us versus Arizona for the championship. The final doesn't matter. The regions don't matter. We'll play them in the Final Four, and that's going to decide the whole thing.
We're not there yet. One game at a time. One game at a time.
Now it's one game at a time. Now it's one game. Now it's one game at a time. See, but Gabe, I'm trying to put the kibosh on him a little bit because I got Bama. All right, Gabe, bat leadoff for us here. Roll through this card tonight. You've been red hot, like you said. You better mix in some of these UFL picks, too. Don't be holding out on people.
Yeah, I had so many college, but I would have some bonus football picks for you here. So let's go with the Johnny. St. John's +7 at 6.5, but we're getting it. We bought the half point, -120. That's not bad. St. John's plus the 7. Not on the board here, but I do like the under in that game. Michigan, lay the 9 with Michigan. Michigan win by double digits once again tonight. We love the Michigan team total over 91.5. Kind of takes the point spread out of the equation in case Michigan win like 94-85 or something like that. And I mean, it's sort of like, or it's a push or right around the point spread, etc. But I think it's a carbon copy of last night's Arkansas and Arizona basketball game. Look for Michigan to murder Alabama in the paint inside. I also like Cadeau over 6.5 assists. Give me the UConn Huskies to win this basketball game tonight. Michigan State, UConn over 136.5. I'm riding the Rick Barnes train. Everybody bashes him all the time. Give me the odds makers are just inviting everybody to take Iowa State tonight. Give me the Tennessee Volunteers plus the 4. Iowa State, Tennessee, under 139.5. And bonus pick, UFL football tonight. A.J. McCarron, Kevin, makes his professional coaching debut this evening as he's the new head coach of the Baltimore Stallions, who takes on the Louisville Kings, who are a new team. Louisville's coach is Chris Redmond, former NFL backup quarterback. Chris Redmond's never coached anything besides a high school football team in Kentucky before. Later points with the Birmingham Stallions tonight, -5.5. New rules. I don't know. Let's see how it plays out with the totals. But here's a real bonus, DJ. I'll give you the board here. Here's a UFL touchdown score prop for everybody, Kevin. Dion Kane. Kane, wide receiver, Birmingham Stallions. Touchdown, Kane. -145.
There we go. All right, little love there for Dion Kane. Let me roll through this here tonight. I agree with Gabe on the under St. John's Duke, 141.5. I think that both of these teams will look across the court and defensively be in for a bit of a wake-up call with what they're going against here tonight. It's going to take an unbelievably hot three-point shooting night from one of these teams to get over that number. I've sold myself on Bama, famous last words. I actually think they're live.
Very disappointed in you.
I know. And listen, you know what? At least I'll have 2 days off to pretend it didn't happen when Michigan wins by 25. But Alabama, all they want to do is shoot threes. Michigan kind of lets you shoot threes. Michigan will score inside. We know that. But Bama's going to go over their team total. I believe that. I like the over, but I'm also on Bama plus the 10.5. Huskies money line, trusting Hurley in the tournament here. And then a little NBA special here. Heat Cavs over the 242.5. Cleveland now still at home, not off a second leg of a back-to-back. I think they bring their scoring shoes to the party here. And then Hawks plus the 5 against Boston without Jaylen Brown, Gabe.
Hey, Michigan Wolverines leading over Bentley right now 4-0. Extra bonus pick for Bills Mafia and our boy Sam. Let's go Tigers over the Red Wings tonight.
Whoa!
This could have happened last week. Could have happened the week before. It is goodwill season, Kevin. It is goodwill season. We want to make sure the fans are buying those tickets. We are committed to opening day.
I like that.
We are committed to spending them. I mean, look, it is what it is. Like, this is what you do to fire up the fan base.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball announced yesterday that they will be having a partnership this season with a company that we've come to be very familiar with over the last 6 months. Polymarket is the exclusive prediction market partner of Major League Baseball and the only platform allows to use teams, logos, and marks. Representing the latest pro league to embrace the prediction markets.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
I do believe there are causes for players to become basketball drunk. Thursday, Friday, you're sitting around a hotel and all you're doing is watching ball. And then you go out on the floor and you're a little bit groggy. Yeah, because all you've done is you've laid in that hotel bed and watched game after game after game. And you get caught up in the emotion. Like everybody in the country was.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
He didn't get 50 home runs. He only stole 13 bases. Boy, he only pitched to a 4.15 ERA. Yeah, he's not the MVP. Like, who can steal it from him? If Ohtani plays the whole season, who can steal it from him, Tom?
It has to be something so dramatic that it will bring pause to the voters to say, hey, Ohtani's great. He was a good pitcher this year. He was a really good hitter. But what this player doing, we have to take note of.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.